You are listening to the Next Gen Jets show. Now, here are your hosts Connor Long, Chris Grasso, Jack Cotter, and Josh Woolever.
Yes, you are, in fact, listening to the Next Gen Jets show, streaming live right here on YouTube and Twitter. Hello, everyone. Welcome into the Next Gen Jet show. I'm Connor Long. Those are my co-hosts. To my left, actually this way, Jack Cotter. To my right, Chris Grasso, Josh Woolever. How is everyone doing right here on this Saturday evening, September 27th, 2025? Thank you so much for making us a part of your Saturday evening and tuning in with us right here on the program. Be sure to smash the like button and hit subscribe on your way into the building, folks, because that is the free way to help support us and what we are doing here on the show. So be sure to support that way. The paid way to help us grow, it helps us just as much. You see it on the ticker down below. You can get into our membership raffle. New prizes underway for our raffle. We're giving away a Joe Klecko signed jersey, a Wayne Corbett signed mini helmet, a Corbett, Coles, and Moss signed photo, a Don Maynard signed photo, and an Al Toon signed photo, folks. Every $2 super chat or gifted membership gives you an entry. Every $2 super chat or gifted membership, that is, will give you a raffle entry. We appreciate your support. Be sure to smash the like button and hit subscribe at all costs, because that is the free way to help us. We want to engage with you guys. We want to hear what you guys have to say. We want your voices to be heard. The way you can interact with us, as always, right here on the Next Gen Jet show, is by throwing all your questions, your comments, your thoughts in the live chat for us to get to. Super chats will cut the line in that case, along with getting you a raffle entry, folks. So continue to load up the chat. We're going to get to everyone in the chat. And then if you guys want to get up here on the screen and give your takes, you could do so by using the pinned link in the video description down below to call in. So be sure to throw all your questions, your comments, your thoughts in the chat. Call into the show at the link pinned in the video description down below. Again, that's questions, comments, thoughts in the chat. Call into the show with the link in the description down below. You couldn't have drawn up a more depressing start, I think would be the way to put it. I was going to say disappointing, Jack, but when you look at who the Jets had to face to open the year, it's not all that surprising that this team holds an 0-3 record. It's just depressing in the way that they lost 2 of those 3 games, Jack Cotter.
I think it's also just you got to come up in the bigger moments late in the fourth quarter. I just think the Jets failed to do that in their 2 out of the 3 games that they played. I think they should have won 2 out of the 3 games that they played. I believe that they literally had both the Steelers and the Bucs in the bag, but they can't let go of any momentum like they did in those 2 games the rest of the season. So if that happens against Miami, I think it's going to be a real issue throughout the season, regardless if it's a playoff team or not. They have to just keep the momentum flowing throughout the entire game. But I agree. I think all 3 of the teams that they played in Pittsburgh, Buffalo, and Tampa Bay were all playoff caliber teams. Buffalo, arguably a Super Bowl contender. So I definitely think the Jets did hold their ground well in 2 out of the 2 out of the 3 games they played. They just have to finish it. If they were able to finish it, then they'd be 2-1 right now. They just have to hold momentum throughout the rest of the season.
I agree that the Jets should have won against Pittsburgh, Chris, but I am in complete disagreement that the Jets deserve to win against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers last week. They were outmatched right off the kickoff. They were down 3 scores heading into the third quarter. Sure, the comeback was incredible, but let's keep in mind the confines of which the Jets were driving down the field and scoring in. Todd Bowles took his foot off the gas, took his foot off of the aggressive send the house mentality, play in and play out. The Bucs wanted to play everything in front of them. That allowed the Jets to march down the field, score 2 touchdowns. Then they're back in the game. When you talk about this team coming up in big moments, I don't think you could have asked for this team to come up in a bigger moment than Will McDonald blocking a field goal and running it back for a touchdown. So I think, frankly, it's the quite opposite part of the story. If you talk about what the Jets did against Tampa Bay, they weren't consistent right off the kickoff. Then they turned it on. It was too little too late in the fourth quarter, Chris. But under no circumstance do I think the Jets were nearly as competitive or feisty as a team last Sunday against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
I 100% agree with you. I mean, it's not looking too good in Jetland right now. I mean, the only optimism for me is coming from week 1. Our offense was firing on all cylinders against the Steelers. But really, there's been no defensive positives throughout this entire season. I mean, I thought the play calling versus Buffalo was terrible. Obviously, in the Steelers, Rodgers had way too much wide open stuff. And versus the Bucks, I mean, we needed so much help just for it to be a close game against the Bucks, and our defense couldn't even be clutch enough to stop them driving down the field after the Will McDonald miracle. Which, by the way, like this, we could have seen this happening from the day they drafted him, because I know.
Jumping over cars.
Yeah, you stole my thunder, man. I was gonna mention that, but I was so mad the day they drafted him. I did not like the Will McDonald pick, but like he was jumping over cars. I'm like, all right, what does this have to do with it? We reached on a defensive player that we didn't need. We need offensive line at that point. But this is what he could have been good for, jumping over, blocking kicks, and then of course our defense can't clutch up afterwards. I mean, this is just a typical heartbreak. Like, it's almost like I'd rather them almost as the Bucks have just blown us out, because
yeah.
When they made it close like that, they wrote me right back in just to screw you even more. That is the typical Jet heartbreaking loss. And even though Aaron Glenn claims not the same old Jets, I mean, I understand it takes a while to instill a culture. I'm still being patient with Aaron Glenn. I'm not off on Aaron Glenn. I don't think the hate that Aaron Glenn is getting is deserved. Ultimately, though, it's
Agreed.
tough for the team go out and perform like this through 3 games. And I think, for our dignity at this point, I don't even think it's a must win to get into the playoffs, because I don't think playoffs are even in the conversation anymore. I know it's still early in the season. I mean, the playoffs, it might have been ambitious to project the Jets coming out as hot as I thought they were going to. I thought that because I thought the coaching was completely different. I was underestimating maybe how much time it was going to take to instill the culture. But they could still make an interesting season. They could still have 8 or 9 wins for sure if they lock in here in this back half of the season. And it's still early. It's only week 4. So if they really want to prove they're a legit team, and Aaron Glenn is really about fixing stuff, they'll beat the Dolphins, because they take advantage of a weak Dolphins team with no O-line. I mean, your D-line is supposed to be one of the strengths of the team. So I think the defense has been pretty disappointing. I hope Steve Wilkes will be able to pick it up, Aaron Glenn will be able to pick it up, and all our defensive players, especially in the tackling side, will be able to pick it up. So ultimately, a very disappointing start, but we get
Tackling is terrible.
Yeah, we got Fields back this week. That'll certainly be interesting. And let's get some stuff to build on. Let's build on some wins and go into the season, look respectable here this week.
We're going to look ahead to Miami here shortly on the show. We want to engage with you guys for all your questions, your comments, your thoughts in the chat. Call into the show with the link that is pinned in the description down below. I think the right response for Aaron Glenn to give during last Sunday's press conference with the whole same old Jets thing, blah, blah, blah. What I would have said if I was Aaron Glenn is, we are the same old Jets, and we need to change that, and we need to get on the right page, and we need to win football games. That's what I would have said if I was Aaron Glenn speaking to reporters. So I understand why fans could be a little short-fused with the lingo that Aaron Glenn is using with reporters and the snippiness that you see from him at the podium leading up to the game, and then obviously game day when he speaks to reporters following the game. The unit that has stuck out to me the most, and the unit I've been so impressed with, is special teams. And I know people won't hate to hear that because it's special teams, but I mean, when you talk about the coaching that Chris Banjo has done, the Jets special teams coordinator, very, very, very young coach. I believe 36 years old he is. This is his 3rd year coaching football in general, 35 for that matter. Played in the league for a long time. He was a special teams assistant with the Denver Broncos these past 2 years. Just the production he's been able to get out of this unit is so impressive for me. You look at the gunner position, no matter who's lining up there, Kanena Wangu when he's healthy, Quantez Stiggers, anyone, Isaiah Oliver, players of that nature, you're getting production from them. The return game was intriguing, seeing Braylon Allen back there on kickoffs. Banjo explained that yesterday when speaking to the media. That's the last person you see returning kicks. And I wrote it up for Jets X Factor, and I looked. Allen hadn't returned kicks since high school. So I just think the nuance that this new coordinator, Chris Banjo, is implementing on special teams is really intriguing. He also told the media that Will McDonald play is a play that they worked on the whole week of practice, hoping to execute it in a big moment. Executed it there. Austin McNamara is the league's #1 ranked punter by PFF. He's the only punter right now in the league to rank top 5 in both hang time and net yards per punt. So, I mean, I am very, very pleased with the output I've seen from this special teams unit. Now you hope it carries to the 2 primary phases of the ball in offense and defense. Josh, we were very long-winded there. We didn't get you involved. Summary of what we said for you, my friend.
Guys, I love to be onto this panel, but it's an 0-3 football team right now, so that's always a little disappointing. And look, it's this. If there's any week out of Chris's 5-1 start that I would say that the Jets have a good shot at winning, Chris, you're gonna continue to hear that from me. Not only this year, the off season, the next
Listen.
5 years, but it's the
next couple of
Miami
games.
Dolphins. So you hope this ship gets turned around as fast as possible. Chris, I don't know why you spit out the word playoff. Just drop it. All right, buddy. This team's not
Oh.
touching this team
Not
like
touching a
when they
Super
show
Bowl
up
in my lifetime.
in the hunt graphic. When they show up in the hunt graphic, the Jets aren't even gonna make that. They're gonna be at the bottom. They're gonna be bottom feeding of bottom feeders. No, I'm kidding. But I just like I love the Jets, but I hate when the best part through 3 weeks has been the Gunners, Connor, and that is no disrespect to what you have said. I love special teams just as much as the next guy. That Will McDonald play was probably the most excited I'll be this season, except maybe if there's like some walk-off touchdown. But I knew deep down in my heart, and I think a lot of Jets fans did, that this defense just isn't good enough to stop Baker Mayfield, especially when you need it. That Bucs team scores a touchdown if they feel like it, but obviously they run out the clock, they settle for the field goal, and it wins them the game, so it doesn't matter to them. So this Jets team, in my eyes, has given up 30 through each of the first 3 weeks, if you want to count that. If you want to stiffen up and say it's only been 28, that's fine with me, but this was supposed to be the premier part of the ball for this Jets team, and we were supposed to instill the culture starting on the defense, and it has been an extremely disappointing unit. So see if there's any actual tackling this week. Let's see if Justin Fields comes back and plays all right. Let's see if this Jets defense can take advantage of an awful Tua Tagovailoa. But, other than that, there's not a ton to be excited about right now.
Speaking of the Jets tackling woes, I put this article up earlier today for Jets X Factor. Steve Wilkes spoke to the media yesterday, and he thinks he has an answer as to why, and a solution for that matter, as to why the Jets have missed all these tackles. And as you see in that line I implemented right there, cute Jets defensive coordinator does not question his players' effort, but pointed instead to over pursuit as the primary cause, saying, quote, "I never question our guys' effort. We're running to the ball, but we've got to run to the ball with purpose," said Wilkes. You see guys running to the ball and overrunning. That's something I got to do a better job of coaching. This is just what not to do 101 as a defensive coordinator of the New York Jets when speaking to the media. Like, read the room, Steve Wilkes. Have you seen Andre Sisco? Have you seen Will McDonald try to tackle? Have you seen Brandon Stevens? When you talk about lack of effort, not even just tackling prowess itself, just lack of effort. Like, I said this earlier in the week on our show with Justin Freed right here on the pod. I said earlier in the week, give me a player like Clemens who you have to slow down and make sure he doesn't overrun the play and gets in trouble with those personal foul calls, over a guy like Brandon Stevens who's just going to give up and stand there like a twig. Like, give me a guy like Clemens over that. Give me a guy like Will McDonald over that. Give me someone physical who's going to put their heart into the game than a player like Brandon Stevens, Chris, who's just going to sit there like a statue. Give me more of A.Z. Thomas on Monday night. He looked great last game.
100%, I agree with you. I mean, Brandon Stevens has been one of a liability on our defense, to say the least. And I'm so disappointed in the way he's playing. And the corner we traded for has been known to be a guy who is not afraid to make open field tackles. So I'm really excited to see. I know he's injured right now, but when he gets back, I love Muji making these trades. I love Glenn scouting out these players and telling Muji to trade for them. So I like that. That's a positive I can take away.
You like Glenn scouting out Brandon Stevens?
Not Brandon Stevens. That hasn't worked out so far, but Brownlee's a different story. But Josh, to respond to your little opening.
By the way, Brownlee hasn't even had a practice yet.
No, I mean, but he Tennessee fans were like, see what's his name? Richie said this. Like, one way to evaluate trades is see how the other team's fan base responds to it. And Titans fans are not happy that they lost this guy. This guy's we talked about as a dogs, and so I'll leave it at that. And Josh, respond to your opening.
Because we ruined every single player that we get. You realize
Well,
that, right?
also,
Josh, I want to respond to Josh's opening monologue about the 5-1. I'm not backing down from my 8 or 9 win prediction. I still think this team can be solid. Justin Fields, we still need to know what Justin Fields is.
Stop.
8 or 9 games. We played 3 straight Super Bowl contenders.
Come calling back to me in the bye week when this team has won 2 games, right? Come crawling back to me when they won 2 games in the bye.
3 straight Super Bowl contenders. The Bucs are a Super Bowl contender. I've talked highly about the Steelers.
Yeah, the Steelers are a Super Bowl contender. Nice one, Chris.
Rodgers threw 4 touchdowns in the opener, and the Steelers have looked good. Their defense is good. I don't know what you're on about. The Steelers are a playoff team for sure.
Yep.
And they could be a Super Bowl contender. So listen, we played 3 tough teams.
So in that case, they should beat the
Steelers.
Dolphins by 3 scores. They should beat the Bengals, no Joe Burrow, by 3 scores. They should beat the Saints by 3 scores. The Jags by 3 scores. The Browns by 3 scores. They should probably beat the Broncos, according to you.
Well, let me say this: when
you had them winning both of the first 2 weeks, Chris.
I want to go back to the Jarvis Brownlee trade because that's what we were speaking about. And Chris, I think the fan base thing is a great anecdote that you mentioned there. However, when you look at a fan base getting that disappointed over losing a player and everyone like, oh my God, how did he come to the Jets? How did the Jets trade for him for these late round picks? You have to wonder. There's a reason why the Titans gave him up. So I have a good relationship with a Titans media member who I reached out to asking why they would seemingly move off of Brownlee. And he mentioned off the field issues, him having an ego, things of that nature that ultimately left Tennessee to move on from him. Also mentioned him being slightly undersized. However, said, quote, but I've always loved the way he plays the game. Keep developing him, and I think he can be a stud. So I'm okay with the trade. I like it. I think the biggest thing is you have 3 years of team control. You have all of this year, obviously, and then 2 additional years on his rookie deal. So I think that is great. And I just love the willingness from Darren Mushi to flip these late round picks in exchange for guys who can make impacts at positions of need on this team. We saw with Jawan Briggs, Harrison Phillips before the season got underway. Now we're seeing it with Jarvis Brownlee. I am very, very, very pleased with the way Darren Mushi has handled that. Now, folks, let's move on. Put everything in the rearview mirror. New week for the New York Jets, facing off against the Miami Dolphins on Monday Night Football. We want to hear your thoughts, your questions, your comments on the game. Throw those in the chat. Call into the show with the link pinned in the description down below. This is an interesting matchup. We'll get into score predictions later, blah, blah, blah. We'll add this. Veteran tight end Darren Waller will be making his season debut for the Miami Dolphins on Monday night. His first time appearing in an NFL game since 2023. This is an interesting matchup for the Jets. Both teams winless. Miami has been competitive in all 3 of their games. I think should have beat the Buffalo Bills on Thursday Night Football last week. So a very intriguing matchup. Miami home field advantage on Monday night. Chris, what are your top things you're looking for out of the Jets? What do the Jets need to contain from Miami on Monday night?
So the number one thing I'm looking for is defense. I mean, Steve Wilkes, and the defense should be able to tee off on Tua, turn the ball over in this offense. Their offensive line is way subpar, so our defensive line should be able to take advantage of that for sure. I said this week 1 last time I hopped on the show. They gotta win the turnover battle, especially against a quarterback who is known to turn the ball over. And I think Justin Fields ultimately just needs to play safe football. Just manage the game, let your run game eat. The Jets, I think, are better match in both trenches for this game. So I think this is a winnable game. I mean, I think you need to take advantage of a weak Dolphins team here and just honestly, I think it's a close to must-win game. I mean, if for your own pride at this point, not for playoff implications, for your own pride. So I think I'm looking for the Jets defense to step up in a big way, and I'm looking for Justin Fields to show some good stuff here.
Justin Fields making his return to the Jets after missing last week due to a mild concussion that he suffered in week 2. I disagree with what you said, Chris, about this defense teeing off against the Dolphins offense, frankly. I think this offense is going to have a field day on the Jets secondary. First, the Jets have never been able to force a turnover, so I've literally lost all hope in the Jets even generating anything close to a turnover whenever it's in a big moment. Second off, when you look at the speed and elusiveness this offense possesses with Devon Achane out of the backfield, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle. Sauce Gardner said this to the media this week. He called Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill Olympic track stars. Like, these guys are going to have a field day on the Jets secondary. And I don't mean to be pessimistic on this team. I've given this team the benefit of the doubt for a while now. I think there's a world where Tyreek Hill has 150 receiving yards against the Jets. The secondary needs a big game. They need to step up, or you're looking at a game and a Miami Dolphins team. The Dolphins are 0-3, but you got to look past the record. You got to look at the talent that this offense has. This is a high-octane offense that could push the ball down your throats in the running game and could also beat you in the air, Jack. So I think this secondary is going to need to step up. Chris, we'll get to you in a second. But Jack, I want to hear what you have to say.
Yeah, absolutely. The secondary has just been god awful the entire season. I do think if from one of my keys to the game for the Jets was obviously to have the secondary get, to step up their game this week against Miami. But Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, these guys are all threats to the secondary. Sauce Gardner, we know him to be a good cornerback, but we don't really know him to be a very speedy quarterback corner, especially not as speedy as Tyreek Hill. So I think I don't think man coverage would be the best coverage to do this week. Especially with the high caliber corner in Sauce Gardner. I think you'd have to run the a zone, whether that be cover 2 or cover 3 this week with the Jets. So, I mean, again, Andre Sisco is known to be a ball hawk. Again, although we haven't really seen much out of him this year, maybe this could be the game where he shows why the Jets should have signed him. So I think it's a very important game for this Jets secondary just to show why they're still why they should be one of the best secondaries in the league, even though they have been god awful. I think again, this is just a week where they can show why the Jets defense should be considered top 10 again in the NFL.
Chris?
Yeah, I love the point Jack just made about the defensive scheme. Like, guys, realize that man coverage is not the play, especially this game. You think it was bad versus the Bills? If you come out in man coverage versus the Dolphins, that's asking to get cooked. But Connor, going back to what you said, I mean, like Tua's gonna have no time to throw the ball. So they'll be open, but Tua is not he's not a very I don't like Tua as a quarterback. Tua turned the ball over. I'm not anticipating him cooking our defense. Excuse me. He's gonna have no time to throw the ball. If we get cooked on defense, though, I think it'll be by Devon Achane and his speed and his ability to slip tackles. So the tackling has to be more sound. Our defense has to be schematically sound, and that's basically the key to the game. I'm not anticipating watching the game and watching Tyreek Hill go ham because Tua is not gonna have time to throw the ball.
Well, you talk about Chris creating. You talk about these guys, and Tua not having all this time to throw the ball. I mean, you talk about the Dolphins. Offensive line being poor. The Jets last week went up against an offensive line that was missing 3 of their starters, including the anchor of that line being left tackle Tristan Wirfs, and they didn't do anything to rattle Baker Mayfield. I have no confidence in this defensive line to generate any pressure whatsoever. And again, you get these guys open, you let them go downfield. You watch Devon Achane on slip screens. Look, I have the Jets losing this matchup. I don't think it's going to be a crazy wide margin. I have it 33-27 in Miami's favor. The Jets could certainly win this game, undoubtedly so. But, you're looking at a game that if the Dolphins go up by 2 scores at a point and this offense isn't firing on all cylinders like we saw in week 1, this could be a long, long, long evening, Josh.
Yeah, I mean, I disagree. I think the Jets, something stuck in my throat. I disagree. I think the Jets do grab their first win of the season, but I don't think it's going to be like one of these 33-27 games. I think both of these offenses are kind of low powered and haven't, they both had one game where they have shown a ton, but overall the Dolphins, you go back to week 1 against a not great at the time Colts team, but obviously Daniel Jones has somehow turned that franchise around. But Jets, obviously it was week 1 where their offense showed out, but it was the special teams and the huge margin that kept them in the Buccaneers game. So I'm expecting this game to be a little less scoring in terms of points. I think it's probably going to finish out something like 21-17-ish rather than 30-something. But overall, I think I hope and I think Justin Fields is able to come back. He doesn't need to do anything too crazy. He needs to manage the game and not get himself killed again. He needs to know when to start throwing the ball away and learning to step out of bounds. But, if you get week 1 Justin Fields, no doubt in my mind this Jets team wins. If you get week 2 Justin Fields, I think this team loses. So it hinges on the quarterback play. What I will say is the offensive line has been great. I have been nothing but pleased with Armand Membu through 3 games. Has been one of the highest rated tackles in the league, continuing to prove my point. So glad Armand's doing great there. And I hope the rest of this offensive line continues to build cohesiveness as a unit. Defense obviously has to step up. Jack, I think you talked about it. You're a football player yourself, so I think you know how teams can work around schemes. And obviously the Jets' missed tackles have been a huge problem. So you start playing a little bit of zone coverage and even if somebody is missing a tackle, as long as it's not, a safety, you're hoping that there's guys behind him to be able to rally to the football. So I hope this Jets team is able to tackle well defensively. I hope Justin Fields is able to do enough to manage this Jets offense. And damn, just if we get another Bills-esque performance, man, it's we can't do this again.
How's Drew Aller playing right now? How's Drew Aller doing tonight?
Fernando Mendoza is about to be a college football champion. My QB1.
Lenore Stellers just drove down the field.
A lot to unpack there, Josh. I mean, if you call the Dolphins' offense low-powered, what is a high-powered offense?
Not one with Tua. Not one with Tua.
Okay,
not one with Tua and one of the worst offensive lines in the league.
Exactly. Okay, Tyreek Hill.
Yes, their wide receiver room. That's it.
No, Devon A-Chain, the fastest running back.
Tyreek Hill is washed up. Tua turn the ball over sucks. They have no offensive line. No
Tyreek Hill is not washed up, dude. Come on now.
Tyreek Hill's
just
not.
got a bunch of
yards a week ago.
Tyreek Hill is just a guy with a bunch of DUIs.
He has a bunch of what?
And a bunch of kids.
Yes, he did.
Domestic violence, I meant. But
Tyreek Hill at 100 yards 2 weeks ago. Tua threw for over 300 yards and 2 touchdowns 2 weeks ago. 127 points. This team, I think people are undermining the talent of this team, and I think people are giving putting too much faith in this Jets defense. When you talk about play calling, the play calling was okay last week. It was a lot better than the first 2 weeks. They were too inconsistent in the way where it didn't make any sense. Obviously, the first 2 weeks of the year, they were playing cover one way too much. Last week, you blitz Baker Mayfield 40% of the time. He's one of the best quarterbacks against the blitz in the league. The situational awareness from Steve Wilks and this whole defensive unit as a whole has been really puzzling.
Yeah, what is Steve Wilks doing? The defensive is an abomination.
I said this over our text chain earlier in the week. I thought Wilks' play calling actually wasn't that bad last week. The Jets, I just don't think have the defensive talent to execute these play calls. Like,
but you can't miss that many tackles, man. Like,
exactly, that's the personnel. Josh, that's not Steve Wilks calling.
No. But
I'm in agreement.
It's not Steve Wilks' fault that you blitz that much, but just Baker Mayfield just avoids every sack because our defensive line just can't get a hold of him for some reason. Like, you got.
Well, no, I disagree.
And they were not. And also, Chris, they were not. The rush lane integrity was nowhere to be found. Like, people would just start like running wherever they pleased and allowed so many screens behind the line. Like, the Jets can't control themselves.
There were some issues with Wilks, but I mean, Andre Cisco is not a very good football player. Brandon Stevens is unwatchably bad. They can't generate any pressure up front. They just have to get Michael Clemens out of there. Give me more Tyler Barron. He had a great game on Sunday. Give me more Tyler Barron. Give me Quinnen on the outside. Give me Juwan Briggs on the outside.
Did Quinnen actually play on the outside? That's something we talked about.
He's played 228 times there his career. Didn't line up there once last week. Briggs played 2 snaps, I believe, on the outside.
He had a great game against the Bills. Like, what are
you
shying away
last
from him
week
for?
Too. I don't know if you're shying away from him. He was great on the edge last game. He had 2.
Oh, I thought you meant he had 2 snaps total. I misinterpreted that. My bad.
Oh, no. He had 2 snaps on the outside.
My bad.
No, you're good. He played, I think, like 80% of the defensive snaps or something close to that. So I simply don't think that would be AB if he's still playing. I don't believe that there's certainly Wilks needs to be held accountable for some of these play calling issues. But at the same time, I think it's an issue with the personnel as well. We can't just go completely negating that. Like, this defense, I don't think is nearly as talented as a lot of us like to think. Will McDonald is a great pass rusher. He's inept when it comes to anything beyond that, i.e. tackling, stopping the run. When you have Braden McGregor playing like 15, 20 snaps a game for you, you're not in a very good place. When what concerns me the most here is the fact that when you look at these players who thrived under Saleh and got paid because of the work they did with Robert Saleh, i.e. Michael Clemens II, 3 years, $70 million, was unwatchable last year and has been inept this season. Jamie Sherwood, one of the worst coverage linebackers in the league. Like, there's going to become a point where I get concerned if these guys are playing like this come week 8, week 9, and you look, and these aren't AG guys. Sure, AG paid Sherwood, but he didn't have success in AG's scheme before. They paid him based on what he did with another coach. That's the same concern I had with paying Sauce Gardner, Garrett Wilson, albeit those deals have looked great 3 games into the season. However, there's going to get to a point with me, Jack, where I grow a little concerned should these guys keep playing at this rate and just looking at their past and what coaches they truly had success with.
I think it all comes down to, in my opinion at least, I think it comes down to skill again. Like you said, they thrived under Saleh, but have been struggling under Glenn. But B, I think it's also, if I'm not mistaken, I believe this is Jamin Sherwood's. He was when was Jamin Sherwood first in the NFL? What year was
2021?
Okay, and his first team was the Jets. Am I correct?
Jets drafted him 5th round in Auburn.
Okay.
If I recall,
Yeah. So
5th round.
Again, this is his first time in his NFL career so far adjusting to new coaching personnel on a whole new defensive coordinator, a whole new head coach, whole new everything. And again, we're 3 weeks into the season out of 18 weeks, excuse me. So I just think it's also just development. I think that, and getting used to the new personnel on defense. I think that's just what it comes down to. I guarantee you by week 10, Jamin Sherwood will be A-okay. We've seen him struggling the past couple of weeks, but again, I think it's all just getting used to the new defensive personnel in New York.
You got to hope so, because there's going to get a point where I'm going to grow concerned with what's happening should these guys continue to play at this rate. You talk about the pass rush, Jermaine Johnson. They're going to be without him. Yet again, I'm going to pull up an article that I actually wrote yesterday for us over at JetsXFactor.com. I'm going to try to pull this up. A player I think the Jets need to incorporate into their game plan, and let me find that. That is tight end Jelani Woods, who they claimed off waivers. I mean, this is a guy who has the greatest RAS score of all time, 10.0, highest ever for a tight end. He's one of the most physically gifted athletes we've seen come out of the draft in recent years. He has NFL experience. Injuries have plagued him, however. I think he deserves an opportunity to play with this team and earn an opportunity. Monday night against Miami, perfect chance, as you see there. Dolphins ranked 31st in PFF's coverage grade this season, ahead of only the Commanders. And tight ends have feasted on Miami's defense. Warren, 76 yards on 7 catches. Buffalo's Dalton Kincaid last week, 5 passes for 66 yards and a touchdown is what he reeled in. They did all their damage downfield. Jelani Woods is known to feast in the intermediate and deep game. When you talk about him comparing to the Jets' other tight ends, his potential as a pass catcher is a lot higher of Ruckert, as I see. He's been a lot more efficient in that facet. Also, he just brings athletic traits and ability that Ruckert can't match. Stone Smart is the only guy he can compare his athleticism to, frankly, and Stone Smart hasn't been targeted once this season. So there is no reason we shouldn't see Jelani Woods out on the field a ton against Miami. They have no answers in this passing game right now behind Garrett Wilson. It's a low-risk, high-reward solution when you talk about gambling on him, and it's the perfect opportunity to get him acclimated, Josh.
Yeah, I mean, I think that while you make a good point, I think you got to see a little bit more of Woods. The way I look at it is, how much are you really going to pass to your tight end too? Like, you can't even hit like basically any backup in the passing game when it comes to it. I get Allen Lazard got that touchdown last week, but like that's about it. Like, what non-Garrett Wilson pass catcher has made a significant impact?
Tyler Johnson.
That's the way I look at it. Tyler Johnson, how many catches does he have?
2 catches, 28 yards last week.
Yeah, that's not an impact.
He was targeted 4 times. He had like 3 catches the first 2 weeks of the season as well. Like, he's made an impact. That's back end of the depth chart wide receiver numbers for a back end of the depth chart wide receiver.
Right. I just don't think if you're throwing to a tight end, it's going to be Mason Taylor. I don't know the personnel looks like. How often do Jets run 2 tight ends on passing downs?
Well, Mason Taylor and Jelani Woods are very, very different receivers. Mason Taylor is more of a finesse route runner type guy who's like in the 6'4", 6'5" range. Jelani Woods is 6'8" and is just going to kill you downfield. And with his athleticism, that's the difference, Chris.
Yeah, I mean, I want to see more of Mason Taylor before anybody, but I want to go back to what you mentioned. But Ruckert is from Long Island, Connor. I mean, like, you can't want to put Johnny Woods in over him. He's from Long Island. No,
I'll say this. I know. I will say this. I said this to you guys via text as well. I've been the biggest critic of Rucker. Everyone who watches the show know that. And I think
He's
rightfully
caught some
so.
balls.
He's been unwatchable. He's caught a few passes in tight coverage. Also, watching back the All-22, his blocking has improved significantly. A lot less whiffs. There was one play on that 4th down play with Braylon Allen. Miscommunication right on the snap, and that's what blew up the Braylon Allen
But
play.
everything went wrong, man.
Other than that, however, he's continuing to improve. Josh, one quick thing here before we get back to the talks. My favorite was you potentially blaming the Jets losing on Will McDonald not going down at the 1-yard line. That was hilarious.
I did not blame them potentially losing. I was just saying in
hindsight, that
hindsight,
would've been better play.
it would have been great if he had taken, slid down at the 1-yard line, taken some more time off the clock, chewed up the clock, and not given the Bucks
See, you
whatever,
guys put
2 minutes and 3 timeouts. I understand, whatever. He wants
Yeah,
to score,
just
but
running him with Braylon Allen.
Connor, I'm not saying that if I would whatever, Will McDonald, I'm gonna kill him for not going down. The guy scored a special teams touchdown. When was the last time the Jets saw that? Well, I saw that from the Jets.
1997.
I have no clue. Right, exactly. I think it was probably oh no, it was Kane Wangu last year. But before that,
No,
it was
I'm talking about
Braxton
blocked field goal.
I know.
return for
I'm just talking
touchdown.
about special
It was
teams. touchdowns.
1997
But-
against the Raiders. Ray Mickens did it, and Aaron Glenn was playing in that
my
game
God.
as a player.
That's such unk knowledge right there. But
Oh, God.
but I know.
If anything, I have the most unk knowledge.
I am not
That's awful.
blaming him for scoring a touchdown. All I'm saying is in hindsight 2020, it would have been better for the team had he slid down at the 1-yard line. But I got nothing against Will McDonald. Met the guy. He's such a great guy. He's one of the nicest people I've ever met. He's a great guy and he's a great football player. So I'm not mad at him.
If I could do it all over again, I still would have had him score that touchdown. Think of how
fair.
I think you
That's
guys
fair.
I think people put too much faith into this offense. This is what happened last year. The Jets had the ball at the 1-yard line against the Broncos with a chance to win the game, and they went 3 and out from the 1-yard line.
Don't even get me started. I was in
Could you
attendance for that game.
imagine the headlines?
You were there?
I was in
imagine
attendance for
the
that game. The boos were awful. The boos were
Could you
raining.
imagine the headlines should Will McDonald have gone down at the 1-yard line and the Jets go 3 and out and not score? And
No,
lose
I
the game?
can't
Yeah,
imagine
like,
it.
Charles
Actually,
B
four
actually
down.
said in the chat. He said if he went
Braylon
down,
Allen is not rushing
it would
in
have been
full
peak
defense,
historic
right?
Jets.
It's 4 down territory at that point.
what happened, Chris?
Oh,
I'm saying it's
speaking
four down
of-
territory at that point. So I mean, you can't tell me Braylon Allen is not going to run it in with 4 chances.
I can tell you that because that's what happened last year.
Wait, boys. By the way, due to the excruciating amount of hate I got not only on this show but in the group chat for suggesting there would be 90-degree weather during a night game, I looked at the forecast, high of 90, game time kickoff 85 degrees, Chris Grasso. Note it, baby. Feels like 86. All right? I got it down. Miami
Somebody fact
Gardens,
check that.
Florida.
Somebody fact
Miami Gardens, Florida. I was on the weather app. All right? So don't tell me weather doesn't play.
if
a
it was the
factor.
Apple weather app, then
Okay?
that's so inaccurate. You have to
How
go on the
is that
weather app.
inaccurate?
Only tell me
The
shit from
Apple
Google.
weather app is
Jack, you're
Oh
hating
yeah, the
for
Apple
no
weather
reason.
app is terrible.
the Apple weather app is so inaccurate, dude.
You guys are hating, bro. All meteorologists are. It's all educated guesses, bro.
The
Yeah,
Weather
academic
Channel
classes
is
for
showing me
weather.
75 right now.
Oh my! Stop it. The Weather Channel's false info, bro. Let me pull this up. Let me get this up.
False info.
Nevertheless, this does not matter. This plays no impact on how the Jets will play. Chances are they'll probably lose whether it is 5 degrees or 500 degrees.
Yes.
It's just the harsh reality.
Yes.
That's what it's
I
like.
don't think it's
That's
probable
true.
that we'll lose. Bro, the Dolphins' offense is not that good. We cannot be. Our defense, this is a good time to have a defensive get back, guys.
Cue
Good
Devon A. Chain scoring a touchdown and me getting a text from Chris the first play of the game. The Dolphins offense is the best in the league. This is why the Jets
Watch Devon Achane pull a Jonathan Taylor in 2021 against the Jets defense. He's gonna have like a 65. He's gonna have like
was that the
he's
game
gonna-
that Josh Johnson was
45 to
quarterbacking
30.
in?
Yeah, it was Mike White injured his thumb after he threw to
Dude,
Elijah
Josh
Moore.
Or
Johnson was
Jonathan
actually
Taylor
so fun
last
that
week,
game.
Jack.
He
I
had
know.
that touchdown to Elijah Moore. I remember that game.
No, that was Mike
fun.
White. Mike White threw that. But did Josh Johnson also have one to Elijah Moore?
I'll try to pull it up. That was on
Yeah.
prime time too, right?
Yeah, Thursday Night Football. It was like week
Yeah.
8, I think it was.
Yeah.
Did you guys realize that the last
Trust Alexa.
touchdown of of Jets Bills. They just scripted the play just so Elijah Moore could score and celebrate on the Jets.
Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just how
bro,
embarrassing.
This
of
is
an
a guy with
order.
an Elijah Moore jersey, but like, why would I buy that shit back then, bro?
Because he was a
This-
second round pick, bro. Well,
He was a second round pick who got into a screaming match with his offensive coordinator while the Jets had a winning record and were on a winning streak.
Like, bro, are you serious? And by the way, Josh, Alexis says 79, bro.
Yeah, high. That's a high of 79, by the way.
I'm gonna pull it up.
Why don't we ask
Continue the
ChatGPT?
discourse.
ChatGPT
Bro,
is
that's
worse, bro.
okay. So the weather app is inaccurate, but ChatGPT is gonna know the weather at Hard Rock Stadium. Gotcha, Jack.
Folks.
ChatGPT is gonna tell you the world is gonna end in this game, bro.
I am Jack Cotter, and I love the 2020 Jets. All I care about, the 2020 Jets. After that, don't matter. The 2020, 2020, 2020, 2020, 2020, 2020, crazy. Jets will win 6 games no matter what. The ceiling is 7 games, but Chris says, what the fuck? Jimmy in the chat always talking crap, but it don't.
Oh,
I have the proof.
All right, we'll see how. Yeah. Okay.
87.
89.
That's
89.
3
Dang it,
o'clock.
Josh.
That's 3 o'clock.
Here's kickoff. 7 p.m. 85.
You're
But
still on the Apple Weather app, dude.
I know. It doesn't make it
All right,
accurate.
folks, smash the like.
Dragging it, Josh.
85.
Hit
Read it.
subscribe.
Chill
We
on.
appreciate your support as always, right here on the Next Gen Jet. So your questions, your comments, your thoughts, throw all those in the chat. We will get to those. Super chats, memberships, support the show. They get you raffle entries. Be sure to get all of those in as well. 125 you guys in the building. Smash the like and hit subscribe. Bill, what's up? Reluctant Earthling, what's up? Eric says Tua is going to be looking like Daniel Marino out
Oh.
there.
The guy
I've
that we
been-
should have
I've been
drafted
thinking
over
about Dan
O'Brien.
Marino these past few days because I played this quiz maybe 2 times, and it's crazy to think Dan Marino still hasn't won a Super Bowl. I played a quiz to name every single quarterback to win a Super Bowl in order, and I missed one player. One player. Guess who that one player is? Not Dan Marino. It's a crazy name. If anyone he was the quarterback for the Giants.
No clue. Was it one of those like ones in the
Jeff
90s?
Hostetler.
Who is that?
No clue who the guy was. I got every single quarterback on my 3rd try except him.
You know what's
In-
funny? I was actually doing one of those quizzes the other day, but it was quarterback cadences, and I don't think I think I maybe only missed one. I guarantee you, if you pull me up a quiz of any quarterback cadence from the past 20 years, I could probably get.
Can we get a
9 out of 10 of them.
Prescott cadence, Jack?
I'm not doing a Prescott cadence on the air.
Please.
No, I'm not.
Come
No,
on.
there's no. You can't get.
Listen,
it.
I'll super chat money and Jack does the
Here we go.
Jack, do it.
Okay, no, because you're gonna clip me. And okay,
Everybody
fine.
just did it.
Fine. Yeah, here we go. Good idea. What's up?
That was perfect. That was
Perfect.
flawless.
Now you
Accurate.
Rogers.
You got the
Rodgers?
voice
You wanna
down
do-
too.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right, Rogers. Green 19. Green 19 up.
Prescott
Yes.
was better.
Oh
This is
my
all our
god.
favorite part of the Next Gen Jet show. This is our favorite part right here. Jack
Yeah.
Cotter cadences.
How about
Going,
Justin
what?
Herbert? Can you? I don't know Justin Herbert's. Can you do that
His,
one?
his is white 80. It's his voice is kind of weird. You gotta like. Kinda
180. What's that?
No, you gotta have like a voice like 180. What's that? It's like that. It's like deep and
This is
raspy like that.
ridiculous.
How about Trevor Lawrence? You
I
have
can
that
do
one in your
Trevor,
bag?
but I don't know if
Do
we
Cam
wanna-
Ward.
Dude,
Do
yeah,
Cam
I,
Ward.
I'm gonna be. I don't know Cam Ward's cadence. Honest, I haven't looked.
Come on,
into
Do
it
Trevor
yet.
Peyton
Lawrence.
Manning.
Oh my! Oh my!
Peyton
Josh,
Manning
shut
won 2
that one
Super
up.
Bowl MVPs.
Oh,
The- I
oh
think the-
my!
Quarterback to win a Super Bowl, in my opinion, after doing this quiz that I got, except one player, was either Brad Johnson with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers or Trent Dilfer with the Baltimore Ravens.
Wow. To be honest,
Former,
I'm gonna be
former
honest with you. I have
great
no
Joe
clue who
Flacco,
those.
former Super Bowl MVP. baby.
Yeah, I think, I've always wondered, like, yeah, and we're gonna get to the chat quickly, so continue to keep them flowing. Just a little off script discourse as we typically do here on the show. I always wondered, like, if you put Joe Namath, Len Dawson, Bart Starr, Johnny Unitas, I'm trying to think, Ken Stabler, Roger Staubach, excuse me, all those guys who were incredible in the 60s and 70s. Those
They get killed
quarterbacks-
today. They would get
Yeah,
killed
And
today.
Terry Bradshaw, throw him in there. All those guys who were so great, Jim Plunkett, Doug Williams,
Connor,
all those
they,
different guys. If you put them in there today, like they'd be terrible.
It's gonna
No,
be the, I
like,
guarantee you, Connor,
although-
it's gonna be the same thing though for every generation. Like, look at Josh Allen. I guarantee you, people in 2075 are gonna be saying if Josh Allen was playing today,
I
he would get
disagree. I don't
absolutely
think it gets
killed.
much better than this.
I think it does. I think the technology football is gaining within, especially within the future of the.
So,
of the
what does a
sport.
better quarterback look like? Like, what does a nuanced quarterback look like?
I just
That's
think the game's
probably
gonna
what
be
they said
different.
in
I think it's not even.
1950.
I don't even think it has to be just the skill of the quarterback itself. I think the game. You don't even know. The game could be totally different come to 2070s. You never know.
Yeah,
I'm just saying,
I
like,
think my take is that the next evolution of football is there's a lateral every play. Like people actually use the lateral. Like I actually
It's
think
not.
that.
I actually.
Like, they're
don't
gonna
agree-
run
I actually
routes
Don't disagree with Josh. I
to
think this
pass
game will.
it to a guy and have 3 laterals just to get a first down. That's
This
what
game
I actually
will
think.
I
evolve
guarantee you,
so
by
much.
the time I die, NFL is going to be two-hand touch.
Oh,
Yeah, I was about to say, it's
It
gonna
might,
be flat
it
by the
might.
time we're
bro,
all dead,
remember when
boys.
we thought
Like,
the hip
2070s
drop,
flag
the
football.
hip drop tackle would actually
They haven't
get
called.
called?
I don't think they've called one
Yeah, I
single
don't think
penalty on the
they've
hip
called it
drop
once.
tackle yet, and it probably happens like 10
Dude,
times a game.
Saquon
Yeah, I
Barkley
know,
got
I know,
fined
I
like
know.
$50,000 for a head-to-head hit. and it
Sauce
wasn't
Gardner
even
hits a
in the
hip
game.
drop tackle every time he
Oh my!
tackles because he's
Did
too
you see
weak
the
to actually
celebration
tackle.
that Will McDonald got fined for?
I feel like I
Did you
saw
see the
something. on
Amon
that.
Ross St. Brown celebration?
Ah.
Wait, the celebration or the choice words?
No, the celebration.
Oh,
Wait,
did you
look at-
also
look
hear
at
the
this,
mic'd
guys.
up clip?
Will McDonald got fined $15,000 for this against Aaron Rodgers, pretending to throw a grenade. This is
Oh,
ridiculous.
it's the John Morant.
For his second sack
Yeah,
of the day
look.
out of Will McDonald. And the third New York sack of the
The
afternoon.
NFL is so soft, dude. Honestly.
Yeah,
It's
remember when
ridiculous.
Alan Lazard got a personal foul and a $30,000
Yeah, for the
fine
guns.
finger guns?
That, remember the
They're
time?
soft.
Well, you know now they banned the nose wipe or whatever. So you
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
can't
that-
go-
I
That's the
did know
Speedy
that.
Lamb.
Like,
That's
what
the
the
Speedy Lamb.
hell? Like, it's like
You
the.
can't even do anything anymore. It's ridiculous.
I think it's a
I
gang
Saquon
sign.
Barkley. Did you guys see that Saquon Barkley got fined for playing football?
I just told you this, bro. I literally
Wait,
said this.
what?
5
I didn't
seconds.
see this.
Saquon
What?
Barkley got fined for lowering his helmet.
Oh, yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah, I
God
did see
forbid a
that, yeah.
guy try to.
I
God forbid a guy
just said
try to.
this.
God forbid a guy try to evade a tackle from a defensive player, dude.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Wait, Connor, is the Prime docu-series out yet?
Wait, let me see the Saquon clip here quickly. I'll pull this
Yeah.
up here.
Yeah.
All
pull
right,
it up.
Jack, while we're waiting, how about you give us a little Jordan Love cadence?
I don't actually. His is like.
And then we're going to get to the chat. I want to see this.
Yeah,
clip.
actually, I want to say this. Yeah.
Barkley in the flat, one-on-one, shoulder
Oh
down.
my God. See,
They fined him for that.
that's. Look, I
That's-
don't think he should have been fined. I see where the NFL is coming from. I don't think he should have been fined.
Bro,
But I
It's football. You have to lower your shoulder.
that
Like, maybe he wasn't even trying
Cranky
to hit
old man
someone.
segment.
Yeah, it's
We're having fun though, Charles. That's what matters.
yeah.
Because the Jets don't let us have fun, so we have to.
Yep.
let's see this in the chat.
And I want to say this earlier. When Josh predicts the Jets to win a game, you know they're going to win. Like, I don't know anyone more negative than Josh.
When
Well,
Chase
no, here's
Coburn
the
predicts
thing.
the
Here's
Yankees
the
to
thing.
win
It doesn't
the
even
World
matter.
Series.
If you make a negative take about the Jets, it could be completely delusional at the time. It has a better chance of hitting. Like Mike Florio picking the Jets to win 6 games last summer was absolutely ridiculous at the time. And it proved to be true. Like he actually was a little too optimistic on the Jets, having them winning 6 games last year. However, like if you make a pessimistic take about the Jets, 9 times out of 10, you're probably going to be right.
But boys, have you ever heard of the Namath curse?
Stop.
Yes,
Jets-
Chris.
The Jets are
Chris,
just
you have
cursed
a
in
lot of
general.
conspiracy theories that I'm not getting into in front of a live audience.
Dude, the Namath curse is he sold his soul to win that Super Bowl. That's why I guaranteed it.
The Jets are just cursed in general. They're
So
just
you
awful.
want a hitman
I
out
think
for
it-
him,
yeah.
right, Chris?
They're all.
I'm
they're
going to
all-
show up to his door with COVID and cough on him so that the Jets can finally win again.
Is there a bounty on
Quote
him?
me on that, bro. Quote me on that. I promise you, bro.
Eric
Thanks,
says Tyreek Hill might get 150 plus receiving yards.
There's definitely a world where that happens. I could definitely if we
There's
play
world,
man
but it
coverage.
better not
If we play zone coverage or cover 2 or cover 3, maybe probably not. But I think if we play man, then I think it's a huge
They play
possibility.
man coverage
Maybe,
against
probably
Fire
not.
Wolves.
There's a world where Chris Grasso gets signed to the Jets.
Yup.
Call
I
up
probably got
Jamin
hit too many
Davis.
times in the helmet.
They need as much defensive reinforcements as they possibly can get.
Dude, Davis, I still think it was a mistake we let Davis go.
I mean, how much of an
To be
impact
honest.
is like a
Wait, Chris.
linebacker?
Well,
I've
I mean,
I've been meaning to
Quincy's
ask you this
out.
question. Are you a buyer on the worst? If you made a roster of the worst NFL players today, would they lose to Ohio State?
No,
This
they
answer's
would
so easy
absolutely
for me.
demolish Ohio
They
State.
would beat them by
They would put BTA to Ohio State, bro. I don't care what any of
insert any college team.
They kill at it. The worst players to ever touch an NFL field will kill the best college team at the time.
Well,
The
not
2019
2019 LSU, not 2019 LSU.
Yes,
Besides
dude,
that.
2019
Stop,
LSU
Chris.
Tigers would lose like 62-0 to the 2017 Cleveland Browns.
I'm not
Yeah.
buying
Yeah,
that. I'm not
Yeah.
buying
The winless Lions would crush 2019 LSU. Like, I mean,
No,
crush.
I disagree. I mean, if you have Joe Burrow, who's going to be a future
it.
top 5 quarterback and 2 future top 5 receivers, I mean, I think they're at least make it.
But they're
close out to the
17
NFL.
years old, Chris.
Yes,
They're all
yes.
young teams.
Tom Brady 12. I will wear a paper bag.
Did I send you guys that AI video of the Jets merch where it puts
Yes,
it's like
I
a new
see that.
sweatshirt with the bag over your head?
Yes.
If the Jets don't win a game by the time I'm going to the Jet Panther game, I'll wear a
Jack-
paper bag there on my
Jack,
leg.
should
I'll
we
wear a
call it
paper
the
bag.
jet shirt? The jet shirt, like sweatshirt.
You're
but
probably
jet
gonna
shirt?
end up wearing a paper. Is that before or after the Cincinnati game?
It's
What?
the game, right? No, it's
game?
It's before, because it's the game after the game in London.
All right,
Yeah.
I'm calling this right now, Chris. If the Jets don't win on Monday night, they will be 0-7 going against Carolina.
All right, so they got to win Monday night. So you have to turn these close games that we had where we looked solid and had a nice comeback.
Oh wait,
into
Chris.
wins. You have
After
to
the
build that team to win.
Chris, after the Cowboys' recent performance, do you stand by your take that the Jets are still gonna beat them? Just stop. If the answer is yes.
The Cowboys are going to blow the doors off the Jets.
If the Cowboys don't beat the Jets by
given Sunday, bro. Like Justin
Chris,
Fields,
it's a
we
win if
have
the
to
Jets
find out
don't
what
lose
Justin
by
Fields
3
is.
touchdowns
We-
against the Cowboys.
We
Let me
have to
put it
find
out
what
there.
Justin Fields with.
If the Jets keep it within 3 touchdowns of the Cowboys, that's a win in my book.
That's sad. That's a sad mentality, bro. Like I get the team has
You
started
definitely
all
think
season.
they're
You
gonna
got it.
win.
We're all fans, bro. Come on, bro. Saying it's a win if we keep it within 3 touchdowns is such a loser mentality to have.
Bro, the Jets were down like 3 touchdowns, Chris, and I said whatever, bro. I overreacted. I was like, the season's over, and you got so mad at me, Chris.
Dude, I can't stand the
You
blind.
can't be a
I'll
Jet
take blind
fan.
optimism.
How can you say this team's
I don't like blind
bad?
pessimism.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say, I mean, no one is even keeled. Nobody is even keeled on this team, but I have not been as low on this team as Josh has. Josh, you think the Jets allow a first down in the second quarter on like a rushing play, and you think the season's over? Like,
Dude, the funniest shit was Josh in week 2 complaining from a suite about the Jet Bills.
yeah,
game.
I'm eating my caviar in the suite right now. You gotta stop the run, Harrison Phillips.
Oh god.
Yeah, in like a suite with Joe Klecko complaining about the Jets losing to one of the best teams in the NFL.
Grow up, bro.
OG Jet fan, good to see you, my friend.
What's up, OG?
Dang Green Gene says, see, that's the problem. They're gonna spread it around Brees. He will need at least 20 touchdowns. I don't think he's gonna get that. If Brees doesn't have an all-time resurgence, these next few games, he will be traded.
Jeez, I really hope
Traded
not. He
for
had
who?
such a good game in week 1. Such a good game in week 1.
Yeah,
If
and
we
then
get
everyone
Week
saw
one
the
Brees
tape
back-
on him and shut him down.
Yeah,
He
just think
needs
if
to have a research. You're right.
Chris,
I
I
think if
thought he was
Brees Hall-
guaranteed the franchise tag.
After week 1, it looked like it, but he needs to have a resurgence if he wants to earn that now. I mean, he's got to have a couple more good games. Perfect opportunity again versus Miami to have a good game.
Yes. Josh, Matthew says you need to start taking steroids. Thoughts there?
Will not do, Matthew. I appreciate the recommendation though.
Why not?
Yeah, what?
Because why taking steroids to
It's
hallucinate
smart.
to make myself think the Jets are gonna win? I'll stick with.
I don't think
reality
that's why.
facts.
Okay.
No, I mean,
Oh, is that not what he's referring to?
no,
No,
I think
Josh,
he's referring
no.
to the size.
Oh, to beef up the build, he's saying.
Yes.
Nah, I'm also good on that front.
Josh,
Yeah,
come on,
worry.
Josh.
We will all protect you in the streets of New York.
You don't live in New York,
Mm.
Chris.
I
It's
used
me
to
and
know.
Connor lone wolfing in the Big NY.
I live in mini New York.
Oh,
Connecticut.
you think the
Connecticut-
pizza's
I
better
thought
in
it was
Connecticut? Get
Shout out
out.
to Gary. I was listening.
New
to
Haven
As-
Sally's Pizza is the best pizza
I
there.
was listening to the Jake Asman show a few weeks ago, and I thought Gary made a great point on a Friday show. Connecticut, their claim to fame is they have the best pizza. It's not even in the top 2 in the tri-state area, and that's their claim to fame.
Well,
So-
guess who rates? Guess who rated Sally's?
I'm not gonna bash until I try it, but like I've had some good ass pizza spots, and I still have to go to Brooklyn and try Krispies. I really want to do that.
Guess who rated Sally's their favorite
Dave
pizza they've ever
Portnoy.
had?
Nobody cares.
Some masshole who
Portnoy.
gave a restaurant in
Exactly.
Massachusetts a 10.
Dave Portnoy, Princess. Or
But
not
he's
Princess
a
Peach,
Patriots fan,
Peaches.
Jack.
Miss Peaches.
Patriots.
No, Connor, I'll put the other comment back up from Matthew Smith.
Oh
about-
yeah, sorry.
Yeah, bro. Cam Ward has been so ass. Don't come at me saying he's
been
better
very
than just Cam. The Titans are 0-3. I know the Jets are also 0-3, but like Justin Fields, I'd rather have Justin Fields than Cam Ward. I can't, bro.
What did Cam Ward do last week? He had a good game last week. 23-38, 219, a tutty, a pick, and then on the ground. All right. For those pass catchers that he has.
Dude, Dude, I've drank the Kool-Aid on Calvin Ridley the past 3 years. Like he sucks, bro. I'm pulling the plug on him. I was a Calvin Ridley truther for the past 3 off seasons. No,
I wanted the Jets to get Ridley in 2023.
They still
Actually.
have Tyler Lockett, right?
Yeah, who's like 33 years old too.
I know, yeah.
Can't probably run a 5.6 40 today.
Yeah, here, look.
Tyler Lockett is the definition of Hall of Pretty Good. Are you guys aware of the Hall of Pretty Good?
Yeah,
They pop up on my Instagram feed.
No, I'm
Here.
aware of the Hall pretty good.
Look,
Hall of Pretty Good is the definition of Tyler Lockett.
Yep,
look. This is a little off topic here, but am I not the only one that thought that Anthony Richardson would be the next Cam Newton 2.0 when he came?
No,
out?
I didn't.
Dude,
I
I
thought he
100% did. You can catch me truthing for AR.
Wait,
on
Chris,
every show.
would
I
Kevin
love it.
O'Connell's scheme turn Anthony Richardson's career around? Yes or no?
Dude, 130% yes.
Anthony Richardson, all it takes is to watch his highlights and realize that he's a college quarterback, not an NFL quarterback.
So,
College.
he needs proper.
Everyone's a
development.
college player when
He
coming
needs
out.
to have snaps and
His
learn.
skill set doesn't
Stetson Bennett's the definition
No,
of
the
college.
arm strength that he
player.
has and the athleticism that he has a blueprint to be a good NFL quarterback today. He just needs snaps to learn and develop and actually can get experience playing against high-level defenses, and then he can turn to something. And a quarterback-friendly scheme like Kevin O'Connell has. I mean, he turned Sam Darnold around. Carson Wentz, it looks like he's about to ball out there. I mean, yes, 100% he'd make.
Because they beat the worst defense in the league.
Man.
Because they beat the worst defensive in the league on the backs of 3 defensive touchdowns.
I mean, listen.
Who did the Vikings play?
I'm waking up early to
Bengals.
see the Steelers.
The Vikings DB had the best quarterback performance in the history of the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, I'm waking up early to see Steelers Vikings. I think that's going to be a good game. I'm interested to see if Carson Wentz
In
can transfer that.
Ireland?
Yep, Dublin.
Interesting. So there are all these international games happening. It's gonna be awful watching the Jets play in London. 7:30 start for the pregame show, and think of it this way: the Jets are playing the Broncos. They might be 0-5 entering that game.
Yeah, that'd be
dude.
crazy.
If we have a
0-6
repeat,
in that game.
if we have a repeat of 2020, I don't know what I'm gonna do to myself.
Bro, fire Glenn.
That Falcons game in London was so depressing when Kyle Pitts just demolished the Jets with 100 yards.
Oh yeah, 2021 week 5. Yeah.
Yeah. 21.
Cordero Patterson. That guy was
Oh.
good.
In
You
your
used to be a
bag.
superstar in Madden once upon a time.
Dude, by the way, we're going to wrap up here because we're about an hour and we're going to wrap up here soon. So we'll give out our closing thoughts. And guys, stay tuned for all the coverage here on the show. Don't know if we're going to have a show tomorrow, but obviously Monday we have our live pre and post game coverage for the Monday night matchups. So smash the like button, hit subscribe for daily content right here on the show. Have you guys played with Arian Smith on kickoff returns? In my franchise today,
Not yet.
I had 3 kickoff return touchdowns with Arian Smith on all Madden today.
Are you playing arcade by any chance?
No, simulation, whatever
Okay.
it's called. I play simulation all Madden.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I do all pro. I just stick with all pro.
All pro. Oh damn! You actually see those things on the kickoffs. You actually see the
Yeah, on the
little-
handoffs.
and you see the gaps on the head. All pro? Are you serious?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to. I'm gonna be so honest with you guys. I'm so bad at Madden.
I'm all Madden.
So
Dude, but Connor,
my go-to-
with seeing you rage
if-
at Madden, bro.
My franchises I
He
run
broke the
simulation.
controller when I was there, Chris.
My franchises. My
We literally
franchises.
couldn't play anymore.
Josh. My franchises I run.
Yo, wait,
simulation.
guys, did you hear about?
And my exhibitions are arcade. So if I just want to, have a fun game, I'll do arcade with the Jets and just run first and put up 62-0 against the Dolphins
Hell yeah.
and call
Do
it a day.
Do that ship as a
But-
pregame ritual before every game. And by the way, I have another.
Chris, I don't think any of your pregame rituals work.
Replace. Dude, we have to get rid of the burning the other team's jersey tradition in whatever section of the parking lot it is. That contributes to the curse. That is such bad juju. I was on it when we were winning versus the Patriots in the home opener last year. Somebody tell whoever runs that it's not the shot anymore. We're 0-3. Wake up.
Stop, bro.
The Jets haven't won more than 7 games in over a decade. Wake up.
I don't think the burning of the jersey has an
crazy.
effect on how the Jets miss tackles.
It doesn't matter, bro. It's such we're already cursed, and that adds to it, bro.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Got it.
thank you for joining us right here on the show. You guys have any final thoughts before we wrap up?
Must-win game coming up Monday night. Jets defense. I'm looking for big things, and please just don't lose this game, bro. I can't take anymore. We can't take anymore. Come on.
Chris just took the words out of my mouth. I mean, that's exactly what I was gonna say. But Jets just they gotta lock in. That's all I'm gonna say. They have to lock in. And Chris, what do you feel about that?
I agree 100%. Like we cannot.
You agree that you want to get fired?
No, I thought about what you were saying, Jack. What do I have to say about fire Chris Grasso? I mean, bro, the way I've been talking about this team in the offseason, shit, I deserve it, bro. They better not make me look
Chris
stupid.
is the biggest heel on
That's
the
all I
show.
gotta say. They better not make me look stupid again.
Boys, I am super excited to watch Chris's 4th must-win game of the season.
Dude, I said we're gonna lose last week, bro.
No, you said they're gonna must win before every game, but let's see, man. All hope's out the door with this Jets team, so I'm just looking up a fun time come Monday night. What I love about primetime games is you get a full slate of red zone without having to flip back and forth between channels. You get the full 7 hours of commercial-filled football these days. But excited to see it, boys. Let's hope these Jets can turn this ship around. Get a win Monday night. Jack, Connor, Chris, nobody better to do it with. Had a great time. Love you guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us right here on the show. Those are my co-hosts right here on the Next Gen Jets show. Chris Grasso, Josh Woolever, and Jack Cotter. There we go. Shout out to everyone joining us right here on this Saturday evening. That'll do it for us. We appreciate your support. As always, for Chris, Josh, and Jack, I'm Connor Long, signing off right here on the Next Gen Jets show, saying have a great rest of your evening, everyone. And as always,
Jets.
Jets.
Whoa. Hold on. Don't I know you got
Peace
Chris?
out,
You have your
folks.
hat? You have your fireman hat?